Hey, what's up everybody? It is Chris. Today I have a question for you. Is silver still exciting? So when you first start off stacking, of course, every piece that you add to your stack, whether it's a generic bar from AppMex, this wouldn't be considered a true generic. This is the AppMex version of the Geiger bar. But whether it's a generic round or it's constitutional, depending on who you watch. If you watch Yankee Stacking, you're probably loading up on Silver Eagles. If you watch Bionic Fishy Fish, you're probably looking at constitutional, trying to improve your education over there. If you watch Salivate Metal, you're probably jealous of his stack because it's ridiculous. He's got some of the nicest rare metals that you could possibly ask for. He's got a rhodium 1 ounce bar, I believe. He still has it. But as time passes and you go through the generics, you start to get sick of your Philharmonics. You start to not appreciate your maples. And your eagles just don't have that luster anymore. Unless, of course, they're the proof eagles, in which case those never get old. And you start to dabble in things that are a little bit more expensive, such as what you see before you. Nothing here is overly expensive, but it fulfills a purpose, keeps your stack exciting. Why is that important? Because it is hard to stack. Don't listen to anyone who tells you it's easy to stack. It is hard to stack. Why? Because as you build up the generic base of your stack, it becomes less and less exciting to add more generic. Is it a fruitful and wise endeavor? Absolutely it is. No question about it. But it's not easy. And you start making little decisions, like instead of going for that Sunshine Mint bar, you start going for something a little nicer. Maybe you want a Royal Canadian Mint 10 ounce. Once you have one of these and you see the quality on them, it's hard to go back to the really basic bars. It honestly is. These kind of things, which are probably on the more extreme end, like the Queen's Beast 10 ounce. That's Betty White. No, I'm sorry, that's the Queen. These kind of things, these are easier to stay away from because the premium becomes an issue. These guys over here, it's not too much of a difference from a generic, and honestly the quality value is there. Now, in the single coin realm, such as these guys up here, definitely you're going to see a price difference between the generic rounds. But whether it's an actual collection like the Queen's Beast series you see over here, whether it's the geese or the krakens or the creatures of the north, whatever your thing is, there's value to each of them depending on what your goal is. The problem is when you don't have a goal, you start to fall victim to things like this. Once you have them, you're not going to regret it for the most part. I mean, unless you went big on Mandalorian rounds and now you're just, or Mandalorian coin, I guess it would be, and now you're underwater and no one wants to take them off your hands. Yeah, I could see where that would be a problem. But again, giving yourself that diversity definitely gives you a lot of options on the back end. There's a lot of people who want these kind of things. I mean, even with, for example, like the Canadian Maple Privy series, even these guys, I mean, they're not super expensive. They're not ridiculous or anything. But, as I mentioned the other day, I saw a Titanic Privy the other day that someone was giving away on Instagram. And I was like, what the heck? I need one of those. That's what's going to happen to you. That is for sure going to happen to you. Or you might be a nature fan. Maybe you're looking at these guys and you're like, I'm not a big fan of the koala. There's something out there that you might like. Maybe you like deer. Maybe this guy over here reminds you of that hunting trip you took 2 years ago, the one that got away. Whatever it is, there's always something in silver that's going to keep it exciting. It's just a matter of how you approach it. It doesn't mean you have to go for the collections and collect all of them and blah, blah, blah. You can absolutely, as I mentioned before, a la carte your silver, whatever floats your boat. Doesn't have to be like these guys over here, the Queen's Beast completer coin. I don't care if you had the whole collection, you have one, you have two, you have none. The completer coin is a great item to have. Definitely a must have for your stack. If you're going to put some money into like a high premium, quote unquote, item, things like that, no brainer. Now, if again you're spending it on some random collection that's the hottest thing, yeah, you're probably gonna get screwed. It's the way it works. Just like, for example, things that for a while, it's so funny in stacking, there's the rotation between the sets that are available directly from the bullion dealers and then hot hot drops from the US Mint, which are a disaster. Stay away from the Mint. Honestly, like, it just never ends up well. When they pre-sale, they, you know, hype it all up. You're gonna get this and la la la, and you're gonna be able to resell it. You don't get it for months later, and then, you know, oh, they have issues with their website or this or that. It's just a debacle. Honestly, the best thing to do is just wait. Most of that stuff is just wait until like the hype dies down, and you find the one-off person who just wants to get rid of, you know, whatever it is they bought. Most of the time with the US Mint, it's just a total disaster. If anything, even the bullion dealers are more reliable, although you're going to pay for it, are a more reliable source for stuff like that. At least you can get your hands on it. The US Mint, definitely not a friend to the stacking community in many cases. Anyway, keeping your stack exciting, the whole point of that is it will keep you stacking. You may not think that that's a big deal, but, you know, there are going to be times where it's like, I really don't want to buy anything right now, whether it's price, whether it's, you know, you got stuff going on. Keeping it exciting will remind you why you do it. Whether, you know, again, it doesn't have to be high premium stuff. If this kind of stuff excites you, hey, like, I like the history of, you know, Constitutional, whatever the case is, great. As long as you're being actively, you know, involved in your stack, and it, you know, has some value to you other than just the intrinsic value, that's really where you want to be in the stacking community. Anyway, that's it for right now. I am going to make another video soon on my updates to my fractional box, so keep an eye out for that. See you later.